their relationship is so tragic. You know, it's so unhealthy. He doesn't love her. He doesn't want to be with her. He hates her.
There are things that I would love to go back and change. I have regrets.
Never expect don't marry a man thinking you can change him.
All right, listen carefully. Jennifer Garner has finally spoken about what allegedly happened involving her ex-husband Ben Affleck and the world's so-called most honest actress, Blake Lively. In a recent comment, she admitted, "You have to know what you're capable of handling, and I simply couldn't deal with everything that was happening publicly." But before diving deeper into this entire situation, take a look at this old TikTok clip where Garner appears to throw subtle shade at Blake.
This is where I go to commune with Blake Lively. See how she's doing. How you doing, Blake? You're looking good.
Now, to really understand the meaning behind that statement, you need to remember that Jennifer Garner appeared in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie alongside Ryan Reynolds. She uploaded a behind-the-scenes video that many people believed was aimed directly at Blake Lively. Garner even left fans a clue in the caption when she wrote, "Filmmaker note, yes, obviously it's a gorgeous Scarlet Witch."
Was Jen Garner throwing shade at Blake Lively because of what Blake and Ben did back in 2009?
That seems to confirm, at the very least, that Jen Garner does not like Blake Lively.
As you saw in that clip, she wasn't casually speaking to some random prop. She was specifically referring to a Scarlet Witch statue from Marvel lore. More importantly, many interpreted it as her indirectly labeling Blake Lively a witch. In old Hollywood language, that term has long been associated with women accused of stealing another woman's husband. History has repeated that narrative countless times. If anyone doubts how deeply those feelings run, just ask Jennifer Aniston how she likely felt about Angelina Jolie back then. But getting back to this situation, Jennifer Garner was essentially standing on a movie set financed by Blake Lively's own husband while subtly criticizing her. And honestly, that's not even the most fascinating part. In Marvel stories, Scarlet Witch is famous for twisting reality around her personal fantasies and illusions. By comparing Blake to Scarlet Witch, Garner seemed to mock the image Blake presents publicly. A woman projecting warmth and perfection outwardly while allegedly interfering behind the scenes in other people's relationships to satisfy personal desires.
Calling Blake Lively a witch. And maybe, just maybe, that's because Blake Lively allegedly slept with her husband?
This entire controversy reportedly traces back to a movie Ben Affleck directed in 2009. He controlled nearly every aspect of production. When it came time to cast the role of his character's troubled former girlfriend, Jennifer Garner apparently expected her husband to choose someone experienced, someone capable of carrying a serious dramatic role. Instead, this married man with a pregnant wife and a small child became fixated on casting a 22-year-old actress from a teen television drama. From the beginning of filming, professional boundaries reportedly started disappearing. Ben Affleck, acting as director, chose to film an intimate scene between himself and Blake Lively on her very first day on set. A married man with a pregnant wife decided their opening scene together should involve physical closeness. Blake Lively later admitted in interviews that filming such a scene immediately felt awkward and uncomfortable. But later on, during another interview, she revealed a very different side of herself.
It's, nerve-wracking. It's your first day on set, you're doing your characters. It's there to tell a key part of the story in their relationship. And I was nervous the night before, and I remember talking to Jeremy. And so I thought, I don't know what's gonna happen. And he said, it's just all in the eyes. And that was it.
That's all I ended up in the scene.
Honestly, I don't know about the rest of you, but it genuinely hurts imagining what Jennifer Garner must have been feeling hearing about all of this. And women, if you've ever had that gut feeling your partner was being unfaithful, then you probably understand the emotional nightmare Jennifer Garner was experiencing, even before knowing every detail. Instead of behaving like a married father with responsibilities waiting at home, Ben Affleck reportedly acted more like a teenager caught up in infatuation. Crew members from the production claimed the director became visibly excited whenever Blake Lively arrived on set. His entire mood supposedly changed the moment she walked into the room. The two allegedly began spending nearly all their spare time together. Quiet dinners, late-night conversations disguised as meetings about scenes and scripts, while people around them quietly suspected there was more happening beneath the surface. Pretty much everyone working there could see the married director growing increasingly attached to his much younger co-star.
There are some people, though, like Blake Lively, I heard, sort of didn't understand.
Blake, yes, is not 40. Blake is 21 or whatever she is, 22. She's a fabulous, as you can see, she's a gorgeous young woman.
Now this is where the story becomes especially heartbreaking, and honestly, it stays on my mind constantly. While Ben and Blake were supposedly enjoying their little fantasy on the East Coast, Jennifer Garner was isolated across the country on the West Coast. She remained in Los Angeles caring for their daughter Violet, who was still very young at the time. On top of that, she was heavily pregnant with their second child, Serafina. Garner had fully stepped into the demanding role of motherhood, a reality Ben Affleck allegedly started taking for granted. And here's the painful part. While Ben publicly praised his 22-year-old co-star and told people she was destined for major Hollywood success, the mother of his children reportedly received less attention, time, and appreciation from him. Sadly, that feels like a pattern people often associate with Ben Affleck. Ladies, can we talk about how unfair that sounds? Jennifer Garner was focused on raising a child and carrying another baby. She was doing the exhausting, invisible work required to hold a family together every single day. Meanwhile, her husband was across the country acting out a glamorous romantic fantasy with a young actress who didn't share those responsibilities. But here's what earns my respect for Jennifer Garner. She refused to simply play the victim. Once rumors from the Boston set reached Los Angeles, she didn't stay home helplessly hoping things would improve. She realized her husband was becoming emotionally close to another woman and made the incredibly difficult decision to fight for her marriage and family. She paused her entire busy life, gathered her children, and traveled nearly 3,000 miles to Boston to confront the situation directly. Can you imagine doing something like that? Boarding a plane while pregnant and bringing your children across the country because you know your husband may be crossing lines and you refuse to ignore it. That takes enormous strength and courage.